Right. So, hey guys, once he stands back up, I want you guys holding him to make sure he's okay, all right?
Oh yeah, you're right. Never mind.
As soon as the power's turned off, I want you to stand right back up. What's your name, nice and loud?
Brian De Santiago.
Here we go. Taser, taser, taser.
Ah! Ah! There you go. There you go. Fight! Fight!
Get up!
Fight!
Get up!
Fight! Stay down. Stay down.
All right, you're down. Stay down. Taser, taser, taser.
Ah! Put me down! Put me down! Put me down! Please! Put me down! Ah!
Taser, taser, taser. There we go. Taser, taser, taser. Taser, taser, taser.
Am I done? My plantar fascia locked up.
How was it?
My plantar fascia locked up.
Have a knife. What are you going to pull?
Bang, bang.
All right.
Get out of the ground! Get out of the ground! Get down! Get this side!
Here we go.
Ah! Turn around, face away. Turn, back up, sir. Back up, sir. Ah! Turn over. Roll over. Roll over. Roll over. Roll over. Sir,
I don't want to.
Funky chicken. No, funky chicken.
Hey, come back around this way.
Come back over here.
Ortiz, come around me. Come around.
Got you.
You control him. You control him. There we go.
So just stay over here. Come over here.
No, tell him to sit down. Tell him to sit down.
Sit down.
I'm going nowhere. I need you to calm down, sir. I'm calm. Are you calm?
I need you to calm down.
Hey,
Sir, I need you to sit down right there.
Sit down.
Sit down, sir.
Hey, I can't hurt you.
Sir, I need you to sit down. Sit down,
I ain't
sir.
sitting down nowhere. I ain't sitting down nowhere. Well, I don't want him to hurt
I need you
me.
to sit down. These bags need enough. I need one. See, we have another. See, sir, I need you to step away from the table.
I need you to sit down.
Sir, I need you to step away from the table.
Why?
Get away from
My
the
family
table.
right here, dude.
Sir, I need you to step out. Step out of the table. Go to your knees. Go to your knees. Go to your knees.
Man, I'm getting my
Go to
back.
your knees. Weapon.
Hey,
Sir.
don't hurt him.
Put it down.
Don't hurt
Put it
my
down, sir.
buddy.
Put it
Don't
down.
hurt him.
Put it down.
Stop. Don't hurt him.
Put it down, sir. Put it down on the ground.
Don't
Put it down.
hurt him.
Move away. Move away. Move away.
Stand here, dude. I'm just standing here. I don't want you to hurt my buddy.
Sitting down.
Taser. Hey, what are you doing? Hey, man. What the hell?
Man, I need you to
What the hell?
turn around.
What are you
and,
doing, man?
Drop the weapon.
What are you doing?
Move out of the way. I need you to step away. I need you to step away.
Come
on, sir.
Come on. Hey, what's going on?
Sir, you guys are back. Can you back up? Sir.
Put your arms and swallow your back, sir.
Back up.
Stop where you're at.
I want to give you a hug.
Stop.
I want to give you a
No,
hug.
I don't need a hug. Stop where you're at.
I just want to give you a hug.
No, stop. Turn around.
I will tase you if you don't watch out.
Back away from my partner. If you don't stop, I'm going to tase you.
Turn and face that way now.
Back away from my partner. Sir, back away. Miss my move. Back away. Stop.
Back away from my partner.
Taser.
Stand right there. Stay right there. Power down. All right.
It helps me understand exactly the capabilities of the taser. Helps me understand the effects that it's going to have on an individual when we do actually end up deploying a taser. And it also gives me the knowledge base to be able to go and it helps me to go and be able to, if I deploy the taser and it doesn't work, to know what methods to start applying at that point.
Now, you've never actually tased anybody before, right?
No. I think it just helps me professionally to understand exactly what's going on with the taser. That way, if somebody does ask or it comes up in court, I can show that I've been properly trained, I have been exposed, and that I'm not, there was no there was no ill effects of the taser.
Okay.
That it doesn't harm you medically, that you can still recover from it and continue to move on. I've been tased before, like I said, and it hurts a lot, and I knew that going into it, but my soldiers were going through it, and I lead from the front and take another hit. It's just 5 seconds. But it hurts a lot, you know, there's no joking about it. But once you're done, it's over with. You get up, you're able to, you know, move around, maybe a couple of muscle cramps, and that's about it. So.
No, except for the, you know, obviously that 5-second thing that I think everybody is anticipating. What part of the training do you think your soldiers are going to get the most from over the last couple of days?
I think the scenarios help quite a bit. It helps them to understand when they should and shouldn't deploy a taser, because not every situation warrants deploying a taser, and they have to know the difference between when to use that tool and when not to use that tool.
I thought there was going to be a lot of tasering and pretty much just tasering, but I did learn a lot. I learned a lot about how the actual taser works, the history of the taser, things like that. I thought it was great training.
Now, have you done anything like this before with Taser specifically?
Taser specifically, no.
So how did it feel to get tased?
Have you ever used one of those shock pens and you just can't let go? That type. I think would be if you intensified that by like 100, it'd be the best. Okay. Definitely. If you don't know what it feels like to get one of these non-lethal types of alternatives, then you're going to end up deploying it in a haphazard manner. And
the right tool for the right job?
I do. I feel that I do. Yeah.
Right.
With this training specifically, it's a lot of discipline, because you have to know to turn the safety off in order to not shock yourself and all that type of stuff. So I think with the taser, you get a different type of discipline, like an actual pain-responsive discipline.
In terms of combat situations, we've actually do use tasers downrange in some cases in terms of like riot control, or we have police training we do with Iraqi police, well, when I was there in the Afghani police. So yeah, it is a useful tool. And then here on a JBLM, I mean, in a garrison environment, we still have our share of troublemakers in the military. You know, whether it's alcohol related, you know, some people are maybe just not all right in the head. And a tool like this is extremely useful, because a lot of these gentlemen here that are maybe a little intoxicated or they're a little, you know, off the wall, some of these guys are kind of big. This is home to like Ranger Bats, this is home to SF. You know, so you got to be prepared for anything. You know, if you got to go hand to hand with somebody, use your hands. When it comes down to taser, I think this is an excellent tool, particularly for some of us. I'm a little bit of a smaller built individual, and I think this helps a lot. It prevents injuries. We don't have to switch to lethal. We have another option between clubbing someone or taking them down or using a pistol. And I mean, in terms of getting shocked, I mean, we all have been hit. It's 5 seconds, you're done, and you're good. You go home. And that's preferable over going to lethal. Well, I mean, just like anything else in life, you gotta kind of know what it's about. Particularly when you're deploying it on a subject, you gotta know it. I mean, you kind of have the problem with abuse, and that's something you definitely don't want, because when you do pepper spray, it's the same concept. You get sprayed, so for 2 reasons. One, you're prepared in case that spray comes back, and you know what to expect, because it can be a shock to some people who have never experienced anything like that in their life. Whereas the taser, it's the same concept. You have an idea of how it feels. So when you're hitting your subject, you know what their body's going through. You know at that moment in time would be the time to strike in terms of getting them in handcuffs, because they're going to be completely distracted by that taser. And say, for instance, if you just happen to touch the wire or the taser at the wrong time and you catch the shock on the hand, you're not just like, oh crap, lose all sight of everything. You actually know how to react to it. It's because you know what to expect. Well, me, I've never been taser certified, so being exposed to it for the first time, actually learning it, getting the scenarios, it really gets your mind going and kind of gets your feel for know when to use it and when to not. Because if you don't really know what you're doing with it, you're just going to start flailing it around. You know, if you go through these scenarios, you get a feel for it. You get to know the difference between someone who's being aggressive or someone who's just, you know, being loud. And it keeps you disciplined. It keeps you on that level of force, so that you know whether you need to take a step up or a step down. Particularly these younger soldiers, some of these guys are 19 years old, fresh out of high school. They come through basic training, and they come to the real world environment where most law enforcers are about 21, 22, 23 years old. These kids are teenagers, you know, barely legal to drink, or not, in some cases not even able to drink, and they're expected to be able to employ this against an aggressive subject. So this training is definitely important for them. I describe it as a miniature spear created by Zeus flying into my butt cheek. That's about it. It was, you know, no pun intended, it was definitely the shock of my life. I lost all control of my body. It was crazy. I thought I was going to be, when they told me to get back up afterwards, and when I actually stood up, you know, you ever slept on a leg and then you get up and you can't move it? That's about the equivalent of what it was for me. It was bad. I'd rather get zapped about 50 more times than ever do OC again. OC is about 2 hours of just slobbery, burning hell. I mean, The Taser, yeah, I like the idea of the Taser. Preferably, I would use this over OC any day because of the fact that for OC, you have to decon them. You have to make sure they're safe. Some people, they have bad reactions. They can get blisters. Younger people or people that have respiratory problems, you might actually, cause some real harm on them, which isn't too frequent, but it can happen. Whereas this, it's a better option between the two, in my opinion, anyway.
And then is this part of